Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this time is the long-awaited what I took to Holland kit list. I'm going to spend the next 15-20 minutes just emptying my bags onto the ground here so you can see exactly what I took along. There's only one thing missing from the kit that I couldn't find today, and that's an extra power pack that I took along with me to recharge all my gear. But otherwise, everything that's in these 3 bags down here and the tent behind me is exactly what I took to Holland. So bear with me and we'll get started. So first things first, these are the 3 bags that I took. Just 2 20-litre roll top alt-lead panniers. I like the yellow colour, nice and highly visible. I like alt-lead because they've never let me down. I've had them for a few years now and they are a damn good bag. 100% waterproof so far. These ones are lasting me a treat. Well happy with them. Along with those, I've got the side bag. The side bag that didn't let me down, it was the bracket that did. This is the alt-lead, I think it's 6-litre classic. The one with the magnetic top. So it just pulls open. Oh. And clips shut again. This one's fairly empty at the moment. Obviously this one is the one that holds my camera kit, and I'm filming with my camera kit at the moment. So this bag predominantly held my camera kit, 1 or 2 other bits. So we'll open it up and have a look. First thing first, my car keys. Yes, they did come to Holland with me because I needed to get in the car when I got back to Harwich. Car keys were in the bag. This little pouch, very handy. I think it was £2 off of Amazon. And all it is a little zip up top that holds various bits and bobs for connecting cameras, extra batteries. I've got my propellers. You see that in there? Extra propellers for the drone. SD card adapter. All those little bits. Very, very handy little tub for keeping things tidy, which inside a tent is a must. Right, what have we got next? Towel, obviously just for wiping your hands, getting sweat off, or protecting your face from thousands and thousands of flies. Very, very handy to have that by your side all day long. So, next one out of the bag is my mobile phone. This is a Galaxy S9 with 250 gigabytes of memory on it. I've got an additional SD card in there with another 250 gigabytes. That gives me half a terabyte of storage in my mobile phone. Very, very handy. Power pack. This one's a 2-plug one. The other one that I couldn't find today and bring along was also from Rev Power. This one's a 17,000 milliamp. The other one that I couldn't find today is a 25,000 milliamp. Rev Power stuff, never had any problems with it. I was very happy with both of them. Now, what else have we got in here? Headphones, bog standard pair of headphones for listening to music on the road. My door keys. And finally, inside this little bag, you got a front pouch. In that front pouch I kept various items like my passport, cash, cards, and oh yes, and my reading glasses. That was a must to keep them from getting scratched. So that's a handy little thing. The only other thing that went in here on a daily basis was snacks. So if I had some sweets, chocolate bars, never put any liquids in here. For obvious reasons, with the electronics being in there, I didn't want any leakages. But yeah, snacks and things like that. So that's it for the handlebar bag, which, as you know, I use as a side bag. The only thing I will say about this is it was so handy, I may well on my next tour be swapping to having 2 bags, one either side, just for that extra little bit of room. Right, next up is the first of the roll top bags. They clip in 2 places, once across the top and the other one across the top that way, and they just roll open. These bags are packed almost exactly the same way I would have packed them every day in Holland. Tried to keep the weight balanced between the 2. Obviously balancing that with only having 1 side bag so one of these had to be a little bit lighter than the other just to keep the trike balanced. Right, so what have we got in here to start? On the top, easy to get to, DJI Spark drone. You've already seen one of these, I'm sure, but there she is, little beauty. You can see how small it is. Fabulous bit of kit. Don't think I'd be without one of those now. Also in here, got 2 spare batteries. So 3 batteries in all, and the remote control. This bag also has, rather handily, it's got little pockets, front and in the top. Now in here I keep some more of my cables and some spare batteries for the cameras. That's very handy. So item number 1 in the top of this bag, Spark drone. Next out is my wash kit. Just use small hotel bottles for soaps, and I've got a small toothbrush that I got from a flight bag once before. Keep everything small if I can. But yeah, my whole wash kit is in there. Deodorant, suntan cream, shaving blade, a whole lot in that one little bag. Trying to keep it as lightweight as possible. Now next, almost on the top of the bag, is my toolkit. So these are the most basic tools that I would take anywhere in the world. With Holland having so many cycle shops, I really didn't think that there was any purpose in taking masses and masses of tools. It was probably overkill as it turned out anyhow, but we'll go through this one item at a time anyhow. So first out of there is nothing to do with the toolkit, it's my first aid kit. If the toolkit's going to be on the top of the bag every day, then I know exactly where my first aid kit is. That's straight on the top of the bag and easy to get to. In the first aid kit, it's just a basic one. There's some antiseptic cream, 1 bandage, a few plasters, that sort of thing. No big deal, it's just a very small, simple first aid kit. Next up, small, simple pump. This one does have a pressure gauge, which really is essential, so you know where you are, especially when you're dealing with 3 tyres instead of 2 maybe. Next up is 1, 2, 3 inner tubes. So we got 2 20-inch inner tubes and 1 26. Now I didn't get any punctures on the road, as many of you will already know, but if I did, I'd much prefer just to change the inner tube and deal with the puncture later. Yeah, 3 inner tubes. What else have we got in here? Some tyre levers, bog standard basic tyre levers. Rubber gloves, just to keep your hands clean. A spanner, just socket on the end there, socket spanner. The only reason I took this one, just the one, that fits the roll-off gear at the back. If your gear cable snaps, I can change gears with this into an easy gear, and that'll work just long enough to get me to the next bike shop. So there we go, 1 spanner. Don't know why this item's in here, but we'll get it out anyhow. It's a small cable lock from Abus. I'll show you how that one works in a moment. Multi-tool, or 1/2 of the multi-tool. I don't know where the other half is at the minute, probably in one of the other bags. But this is a Topic Alien 2, I believe. I think it was about £20 for that multi-tool, but it's done everything that I needed it to do. Front and rear rechargeable lights. I keep them in the toolkit because they're just, when you're only biking in the daylight, don't see the point in having them on the bike, to be honest. They're more likely to just fall off as you're going along the road if you have them on there all the time, so I keep them in the toolkit. But nothing particularly special about these. They were cheap ones off of Amazon. The only thing that's special about them, as I said, they're rechargeable USB, so I don't have to worry about batteries for them. Finally, last 2 bits in there, I've got some scabs for repairing punctures. Never had to use them. These ones are from the makers of slime. Yeah, don't know whether they're any good or not. One day when I have to use them, I'll let you know. And finally some wet lube, so just for lubing the chain up a bit. Right, that's that bag out of the way. Next out of this, we bring this little gizmo. It's an air pump. That goes with my bedding in the tent, so we'll come back to that one. And the next item out of this bag, pretty much the last item out of this bag, is my clothing bag. I keep my clothing all in the dry bag until it gets dirty, and then it goes separately. It goes in the bottom of this pannier. If it's dirty, in the bottom of the pannier. If it's clean, it's in this dry bag. So, in this clothing bag, we have one pair of lightweight walking trousers for the evenings. These ones are Berghaus, I believe. Yeah, Berghaus. Lightweight walking trousers. Again, just to keep the weight down. I wouldn't be taking a pair of denim jeans along, for instance. If they get wet, they're really heavy, whereas these dry out really quick. Two t-shirts, again, for evening wear. Two pairs of socks. So that makes 3 pairs of socks in total, including the ones I'm wearing. 2 pairs of boxer shorts. Right, first bit of the cycling kit. The bright yellow that you've seen, my riding shirt. So that's one riding shirt. 2 riding shirts. 3 with the one that I'm wearing. Long pair of riding bottoms. These ones are from Gore. Yeah, these are like wind cheaters. Really warm for riding in on cold, windy days. Perhaps they were a bit too warm for Holland. That's why you saw me in my shorts most of the time. But who knows? They were good that day I got wet anyhow. Kept my legs lovely and warm. And finally, in the clothing bag, one quick drying travel towel. There we go. It actually unfolds once more, so it's twice that size. Nothing particularly special about that towel apart from it's quick drying again. Put it out in the breeze and it's dry within a few seconds. So that's my clothing bag. So the last item that's in this bag, which brings us neatly into locks, is this. There, that's it for that bag. That bag is now empty. The only thing that would have been in this bag again would be a bit of food or maybe a bottle of water. Carried a large 2-litre bottle of water most of the time, and some snacks and evening meal, that sort of thing, in this bag as well. So that's that. So back to this lock. I've got the Kryptonite Gold Standard D lock. Probably weighs in excess of 2 kilos. Did I use it? Once. Did I need to use it? Probably not. I used this once at the hotel in Harlingen when I went out for the day and locked my bike to the stairwell at the bottom of the stairs. Yeah, over the top, to be honest. Far too heavy. Didn't need it at all. I've also got a cable that goes with this, and that's in the other pannier, 7-foot cable to go with it. So in total, probably 4 kilos of lock that I didn't need to take. Yeah, definitely wouldn't put that in my bag another time if I was going to Holland or several other European countries, I would suggest. But yeah, way over the top. Going back to this little one, however, this was really good. Now, I found this to be invaluable. If I was going into a supermarket and my bike was just out in the street, I would use this. If I was in a supermarket and my bike was in the supermarket car park right out the front of the supermarket, I didn't bother to lock the bike at all. But this, in the street, this was handy. You press the red button on in the side and this cable comes out, and it's 1 metre long. There's 1 metre's worth of cable there, and all it does is plugs into that side, and then you put your code in to unlock it. And but what I did find was with this, I could put this cable through these handles on my panniers and through the frame on the bike. So yes, it didn't lock the pannier because it's just a thin strap there anyhow, but it deters. Yeah, if somebody wants your panniers, they're going to have them anyhow, but it was a deterrent and made me feel a bit better, to be honest. So yeah, this one from Abus I think was £9 on Amazon. You can get other ones. I had a crook lock one before, which I used on another bike for a long while, but I gave that away to a friend. They're all much of a muchness, but see if you can find one with a metre or more of cable inside it, because the more cable you've got, obviously the more options you have to wrap it around trees and lamp posts and other bits on your bike. But yeah, definitely take one of these everywhere where I go. It's really good. Right, and finally onto this last one, the last pannier. So this one must contain my camping gear, and as you know, I didn't take along any cooking equipment at all. I ate in restaurants and cafes and otherwise ate cold food. So and being as the weather was so warm when I was in Holland, not a bad decision at all. That one really worked in my favour. So first things first, again straight out the top, my waterproof jacket in case I got rained upon. So that's straight on the, again it's a Gore waterproof jacket. It worked reasonably well, I suppose. The one day that I got some heavy rain, I got wet. Let's put it that way, there's no other way to say it. I got wet despite this jacket. Whether any other jacket would have worked any better in that sort of weather, I don't know. It rained really hard, so but certainly I would keep wearing this one. I mean, it would be good for showery weather, but the weather I went through on that last day was extreme, so yeah, it's not bad. It's very lightweight as well. Also on the top, I've got a soft shell, my camouflage soft shell, also from Gore. I do like my Gore bike wear, not the cheapest, but it's long lasting. Perhaps I can get my money's worth out of it in the end, but yeah, so camouflage soft shell, just for warmth on those cooler mornings. Also good for wearing off the bike in the evenings. So next out of here, just loose in the bag, we've got there it is, we've got a multi-USB charger. So if I was anywhere where I had electricity, most of the campsites in Holland will allow you to use the electric socket in the office if you ask them nicely. You can just plug this in behind the desk and plug all your gear in. This one, again, it's from Rav Power. Told you Rav Power I could, didn't I? But this one comes with different attachments. So this one's obviously from in Europe, on the continent. You can get other plug attachments. I think it came with 3 when I bought it, but so then this box there just fits straight into there like that, and away you go. So it's like a universal one, but you obviously have to change this. Deodorant, that should have been in my wash bag, but there we go. Last thing for off the bike at the end of the day, a pair of pumps, just for wearing around the campsite. You can take your cycle shoes off for a while and yeah, a bit more comfortable on the feet. The 7-foot cable for the D-lock, nah, wouldn't take it. Right, one Neo Air extra large air mattress from Thermarest. Go through more with that in a minute. This is one, is it Coral? Can't remember the name of it. Chorus or Coral quilt, again from Thermarest. Yes, it's not a, I said quilt, it's not a sleeping bag. I'll show you that one again in a minute. And lastly in this bag, a small inflatable pillow. Again, show you that one in a minute. So this bag with just a few bits in it of my sleeping gear and stuff would have been on the side of the side bag so there's less weight in this pannier, but added together with the side bag would balance on the side of the trike with the heavier bag on the other side, if you get my drift. Next up we have the Chorus. I was wrong before, it's not Coral, it's the Chorus HD sleep system from Thermarest. The first part of which is this Thermarest Neo Air. I think it's the Neo Air Trekker, and it's the large size one. It's so large, in fact, that's the reason I went and bought this, because it's an electric air pump to blow this airbed up. When I tried to blow it up with my mouth before, to say I was dizzy is an understatement of the year. It's a very big air mattress. I'm 6'4", so I decided I needed quite a tall one. Very bright as well, I think you'll agree. So it's got the usual Neo Air connector on there, and this pump just happens to have the right size connector to pop over there like that. It's not a perfect seal, but it's enough for the air to blow into the airbed. So I'm going to skip a few seconds ahead, and you'll see this blown up. Right, I think that took approximately a minute and a half to 2 minutes for that to blow that up. It would have taken me about 20 minutes if I'd have done it with my breath. So that was my one luxury item that I took to Holland with me. So here we have, you can have a look at the thickness on that. Hopefully I can get that lined up. That's a good 5 to 7 centimetres, probably 7 centimetres of insulation underneath me there. That's a decent depth, and I certainly had no problem sleeping on this. It's a really, really comfortable sleep system. So that's the airbed. Try and get that in the picture. The next part to go on the airbed is a sheet. That sheet has loops at either end, so we loop that over the corners there and there. Same at the other end. And then flip it over. On this side we have a clip to do up like that. That just keeps the sheet centered on the bed, like so. Now we take out the quilt from Thermarest. Did I say it's from Thermarest? Don't know why I keep saying that. Right, the quilt is also a nice bright colour. We can throw that onto the bed. We'll throw it on the bed in a minute. At the foot end of the quilt, hopefully this will come out, but it's got this lovely foot muff built in to the bottom of the quilt, so you can tuck your feet in there at night. It's like a foot pocket, really nice and warm. But what happens to that is that hooks over the bottom of the bed, like so. So that's now over the bottom of the bed here. And as we go along the sides, see this? There's like an extra baffle that lays down the side of the bed and traps warm air inside the bed. So that keeps you really warm. But along here we have clips. So all we're doing is we thread that through a loop, bring it round, and the popper clips do up. There's several of them up each side. I think there's 3 on each side. There's another one here, look. So we do that, and that keeps the quilt on top of the airbed on both sides. I personally leave one side undone so that I can get in and out like that, and I can also throw it off myself when I get too warm at night, which I invariably do. I'm quite a warm sleeper, so yeah, I got warm quite a lot in Holland. But that, in essence, is my sleep system, apart from this little blow-up pillow, which there's nothing special about this at all. This is just a cheapie, again from Amazon, by Nature Hike Outdoors. There we go. 3 breaths, and that's probably far too hard for my head, but that's my little camping pillow, and that is my camping setup. So I'm just packing this up, and the thought occurred to me, I should actually mention I actually like Thermarest for another reason, other than this being very, very comfortable. They always oversize their stuff sacks. It's so easy to get stuff back in. I haven't folded that quilt up at all. I've just stuffed that into the stuff sack along with the sheet, and it's there, it's done. There's nothing hard about that at all, and as you can see, it's quite a small package as well. So there we go, that's another reason why I like buying Thermarest. Same with this Neo Air mattress, it will pack so easily back into its bag. So the other piece of equipment I wanted to show you before we move on to the tent is this camera. This camera that you're looking through at the moment. Obviously I can't view that, so I'm going to get that on my phone and just briefly run you through that. The camera is a Canon G7X Mark II with the lovely little flip screen at the top, touch to autofocus, and the retractable lens on the top. So as we move down, all I've got that is a monopod with a little screw-in stand at the bottom. This stand here detaches from the pod, so I can use this as a selfie stick as well, and it's not extended anything like maximum height at the moment either. I think it's probably got about another third on top of what it is at the moment. So yeah, that's the camera I've been using all the way around Holland, as well as my phone and the Cube, of course, the Panasonic Cube, which, yeah, let's not say anything about the Cube. I've got nothing good to say about it, so we'll say nothing at all. Moving on to the tent then, what you see behind me is the Hubba Tour 2 from MSR. I had the Hubba Hubba 2-person tent, which was just pretty much what you can see in the screen now. I had that up until 2 years ago, and I sold that in favour of this one, which now has the extended storage space on the end. So it's basically the same tent, but with the storage space, as I say. It has a door on this end, around there, and it has the door there. Now, why did I swap? Well, let's have a look. I had the Hubba Hubba 2-person tent, and now we have the Hubba Tour 2 with all this additional storage space, or space for cooking, or just generally hanging out in on a wet day. So you want to have a look, see inside? Okay, let's have a look at all this storage space. Oh, well, I never did. What do we have here? That's my reason for buying the Hubba Tour 2. Trini fits inside the tent with me at night. I could not think of a better way of keeping her secure at night than having her in the tent with me. Again, when it came to Holland, I didn't bother, but there may be other countries and other places in the world one day where this tent and having the ability to store her inside is just going to be too good not to have. So there we go, that's Trini, and that's her space. But having said that, as you can see, if I push her back in again, we still have a ton of space down this side and round the back, where I could put all my bags and still even maybe cook in the doorway down here. There's a lot of room here. I haven't had to try it out yet. As I said, Trini didn't go in there when I was in Holland, so we didn't need to bother. So inside the tent is the normal 2-person inner. Really can't get it all in screen there. There we go, it's probably a bit better. So it's a 2-person inner tent. As you can see, if I lay down inside it, I can bring my feet right inside. There is a ton of space here. My feet are only just touching the wall that end, and I have probably a good 8-10 inches here where I've got tons of room. There's pocket spaces in the roof and at both ends. There's ventilation at both ends. There's doors both sides. It's a really, really nice roomy tent for one person. There we go, guys. That was my kit that I took to Holland. Any questions, comments, or if you need me to run through anything again, leave a comment down below. I hope that was pretty much what you wanted to see. I've not done this sort of video before. There'll be another one coming up with a review on Trini very soon, hopefully in the next few days. And yeah, I hope you found it a bit informative. Anyway, I'll see you all again soon. Cheers. Ta-da.